I do.
He had it, y'all.
One I have.
I was like, I
Go
think
back.
Virgo is going to be Rider Waite. Libra is probably going to be Morgan. And Scorpio, while they're known, we might switch those around because that kind of sounds like predictable for those two. Because, you know, Scorpio, we always want to give y'all wild unknown.
Are some of you having an opposition with your work wants and your relationship needs?
Okay.
Boom.
Are we?
I just
Are we
opened
giving
up
Virgo?
I just opened up the cards, and that was what was there. Oh, the devil card, But the first card that came out was the Emperor, and I went to shuffle and Libra. That's opposition right there.
Honey.
Emperor and Libra. Major moments between yourself and a relationship.
All right, so we're going to start with Virgo. We're going to give you guys about 20 minutes, and then Libra's going to get 20, and Scorpio's going to get 20. But Virgo, don't worry. You'll get like an extended birthday reading for the month at some point. I'm going to use this sage spray to clear the air. And then I'll follow it with some Palo. I can't burn nothing up in here, y'all, so it's crazy. Another reason.
Virgo.
Come on, Virgo. What y'all doing?
This is for Virgo.
Mm-hmm.
These are the messages for September Virgo season 2018. Okay? Here we go.
Yes. Okay. Good.
Leo is the first card out.
Mm-hmm.
Already very fiery energy all around. An opposition of the mind and the heart. Aquarius is there.
Oh, right, because this table is like a little bit smaller.
A lot of you have been having work issues. It's been a theme.
My eyes are blurring. Okay.
This was the bottom of the deck, actually. For the weeklies, not this week, but last week. The immediate influence that's come out is Sun and Gemini, so that's like the ruin or the end. This is an ending.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a minor kind of ending. It could even be a death, like literally a death. Obviously, someone's dead in that card. This is interesting because when I was shuffling, this is the queen that I saw, and she reappeared as well. Right. Very Virgo as well too. Okay.
It definitely has to do with work.
Let's talk about your immediate influence first thing, since it's your immediate influence. Yeah. This is talking about the way that you were thinking.
Right. It sounded like something as you knew it is over.
The process is you could have decided, because you do analyze things after, but this is Gemini, so this is kind of before you in the sense of just analyzing it while it's happening even. Like this is just systems and computing information to a point that there has been some type of destruction of some sort. Mm-hmm. Maybe you instigated it or it was instigated because of your own happiness or another's. And now the stage has been like lit, and like Romeo and Juliet shit. Like it's lit, it's happened, and this is kind of like the aftermath of the prologue of the situation. Now the good thing about this is saying that you're in a transition, and the transition is going to be better than when you're at, because you're pretty much at rock bottom with whatever it is that you've been thinking about. Right. With the relationship or with the job or with a friendship or anything mentally that you feel like you've been analyzing. You kind of have analyzed it literally to death.
Right, so that's over. And at the top of your reading, you got the Strength card, which is talking about having the wherewithal to be patient with yourself. You know, it's kind of like you don't have to use all of the gas to drive the car down the block. You know what I mean? It's like you're barely using up gas to do that. So it might even be talking about conserving your energy, you know, because you've been through a lot, and clearly there's stresses going on in the mind over something that actually is over. You know, as long as you can put it to rest and know that putting it to rest is actually going to be to your benefit, because then you'll be able to do everything that you need to do.
Yeah, because there is residue here, because of the stings of whatever has happened. It's like the mental replaying of it almost, because the death has happened, but the sun is rising, so it is saying like, look beyond. And you see the yellow that's in the sunrise right there? This is a future card for you here, right? And that's yellow, and that's talking about having the courage to deal with this situation in a passionate action way, and not just in your thoughts.
Right.
It's about the courage to do. I know this card very well. It's my card. It's my birthday card. So it's a card of just having the courage to really face something. And right now in your emotions, you have an opposition because you have a wish. You have the faith that something is going to work out. Something was ruined somehow, be it a relationship or an ideal or establishment, a job,
right.
some type of hope that you're still in a place of hope, actually, because it's a major arcana card. So your feelings are about, you might even be going to a more spiritual place recently because of the ruin of whatever has happened, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like forced you. And it is crossing Sun and Capricorn, so it could definitely have to do with work, pleasure, or family, like your heritage, your finances,
right.
Maybe even like you've just been pinching your penny so much because it's been a ruin of something. You ruined it or someone else ruined it. It was fickle reason.
Right. It's like with the work, as far as the work goes and how you saw yourself at work, you know, the job and the career that you had, it was really, really stressful for you, right? So it's like once this ending has occurred, it could have happened on both sides of the ruin. You know, you both played a part in something coming to an end. And it's something that you probably held on to for way too long, you know, because you didn't know what you were going to do about the situation once you initiated the change.
I do see you initiating the change, yeah. Because Aries is here. So I definitely see like you analyzed it. You said something or did something that caused maybe a sequence of events to go on. And because your heart expanded, your heart was, you're being very prideful about the situation. Maybe you had the upper hand in whatever the conflict was, and it just expanded in these deeper feelings with this establishment, partnership, relationship even. And you know, you were feeling like victorious in some way in the past.
It was like, the right thing in the past.
In the past, it was like the right move. Maybe the love was right, or you were feeling very like, I'm getting to do this is like along the path of what I want,
hopeful,
I'm feeling hopeful. I'm doing my career choice, or I'm living out my dream somehow, or he's my dream guy, or anything like that, and that is ruined. Or something is ruined from it.
You got this thing, you had this experience. Some experience are just meant to be.
Something could be good still, but you're like holding on to it because you're afraid that you're going to lose it all. And like it's the benefit of the situation is, Virgo, that you are going to get some more peace coming in the Libra season. I do see you kind of resting from a lot of mental anxieties that are going on. It's almost like once the processes start happening, because we are in a Virgo season, so you are still going through some changes, and there are some things ending and some scheduling things. And once you get into your routine, you really flourish in a routine.
Because once this ends, it's almost like you need that time, right? You need that time to sort of recalibrate your mind and get to a place where you're going to be able to talk to people, where you're going to be able to share your experiences and your thought process in a way that's going to be fair to you and those around you. Because sometimes we need to cleanse ourselves of energy, especially in a work atmosphere that might have been toxic. You know, in the past it was good. You realize some people were only in it for themselves. You ended it. They ended it. You're moving on. You're feeling better about it, but you still don't know what it is that's going to happen or what you're going to do moving forward. You just know that you're not there anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of you initiating some things, because this is 6 here with the 6 of Wands, but then the 4 and the 2 here, this is cardinal energy, which also makes 6. The 2 of Wands is here as your Sun card, so you are very much Mars in, this is Mars in Aries, so this is in its ruling planet, in its ruling state. You're just, either you're feeling like, I very much need to make a choice that is best for me right now, or you're feeling passionate about something that maybe you had to end some way of some type of system, monetary. There was an obstacle, or is an obstacle now,
You're
because you
questioning.
feel very spirited about something that you know now, that you know that
was
you know.
it the right thing to do? It's saying yes, it was. You know?
Yeah, you know how you feel about this person or this commitment, especially if it's a lover. And like this could be like you need to definitely be listening to.
Could be a group of friends too that you pulled yourself away from.
You're trying to construct something, you know. You are seen as somebody that's trying to build, trying to construct something right now.
Right.
And so you are very cautious about your time, money, and energy. It's like a different plateau for you.
Right.
And then you're going to get to a mental plateau, and that's going to come from just like understanding your systems.
Right.
Right? Because you are, Jupiter and Libra is like, you will get to a place where you want to relate again. You're just in your hermit kind of ending kind of place because you are very hopeful about things not yet seen. But there is the possibility that you can get your dreams deal in a major way.
Right.
There's just a lot of, you're having anxiety over the competition, over the karmic lessons in getting your dream and in dealing with your heart.
Absolutely, because I'm looking at the anxieties and then I'm looking at your moon because they sort of play into each other. There's so much Leo here, and I feel like this might have been a group of people or an experience with a group of people, and it's caused you to feel like, you know, the toxic nature of people trying to destroy how you might feel about yourself, because you have a lot of Leo here. So it's talking about confidence in you and what your abilities are, and people almost trying to get in there and make you doubt yourself a little bit. So now you've let that affect you to a degree, but you still were smart enough to pull yourself out of it when you felt like it was getting to be too much for you, right? So now you're resting from that, but at the same time you're dealing with the aftermath and the debris of what happened. The Star card is saying, you know, you should be more confident in what your abilities are, because we all have something special to offer, and that's why you have so much Leo energy in here with this cardinal energy. You know, you got some air, you got some swords, and you know, the Ten of Swords is really heavy in your reading. It's very significant, but then you have a lot of healing cards here too.
Yes, like some of you are feeling very impatient about some of your emotions, but karmically you understand that you need to wait. You know that it's going to take more time. You're just kind of being a little bit too... there's like some of you want to share more emotions. So I'm getting like not completely emotionally fulfilled, not completely emotionally satisfied with the situation, whatever the situation is. And there's a little bit of intimidation because it's more of like your part too.
Right.
And that would be natural for you because you can be very critical at times. So you probably very much want to express something or have been trying to express something. And it could be to a Leo because that is in the past. Or Gemini or Aquarius or Aries. I'm seeing all of those placements here. Or even possibly Pisces. But like, I'm just seeing like you want very much to move forward emotionally in a certain way with a person, with a feeling inside of yourself even, like growth.
Right.
But there's some type of intimidation with what you have to do emotionally.
You know that, I'm getting that song.
It could have to do with your body.
Underappreciated. You know that Christina Aguilera song?
I love Christina, but I don't know this song.
You don't know that song? I feel underappreciated. I can't remember, child. This was a long ass time ago. I'm old. You know that song, right? What's the name of it, you guys? Christina Aguilera, you feel underappreciated. This person right here definitely feels underappreciated. I've been putting in my time and my efforts, and then I have to come over here and sit in the corner by myself while you guys rejoice in all of the things that I helped you push through. You know what I mean? Or it's like somebody putting effort into a relationship and not getting that reciprocation back. You know? Definitely. And with the Knight of Cups here in your wheel, it's almost like you are being impatient with your own feelings. You know what I mean? You're being intimidated by how you feel about something that you did, a choice, a decision that you made. You know, you took action on something, and now you're seeing how you're dealing with the consequences. You know, there's always going to be consequences to your actions, and how you feel about those consequences determines how good it was for you. You know what I mean? How was it for, if it was for your own good, then it's for your own good. You know what I mean? It's like you can't. Ooh, okay. It's like you can't be upset over something that you know was meant to end, so that you can move on to better things. You know, end it so that you can find peace in your own material things, in your own time, in your own efforts. You know, you want to be appreciated. Pisces, hit me like button, share. Oh, okay, please.
Virgo, what I'm getting from this too is like the advice is the High Priestess here. Yes. So with the High Priestess being there, it's like, think about going with sharing and thinking about systems that are fair here, because for sure you also have Jupiter and Libra there. So that's like weighing out how much of my energy I need to put into this situation, and also supremely listening to yourself, listening to your intuition. This is a very intuitive card.
Yes.
So right now with Capricorn being there, it's like you being so kind of like restricting yourself a little bit with certain systems and organizations and pentacles, you know. It's very much saying that you need to go with this. Like you're looking at the obstacle as the obstacles, because Capricorn, Sun in Capricorn is being like, I need to put this work in. I know that I need to put this work in.
Right.
Right. And so with the High Priestess being here, it's like, yeah, intuitively, whatever it is that you're, because you got a lot of intuitive cards. You have the Star card here too.
Spiritual too.
You have the Star card, yeah, in your feelings, and then even in this card, which is kind of like a card about restrictions and like the heart kind of going through a lot of different ups and downs and struggles, lots of activity. It's in your anxieties, but Saturn is here.
I know. Now that's
so it's Saturn. That's
karma to have an anxiety.
Yeah, this is a lot of activity in your anxieties. That's also you replaying a lot of stuff back. You really need to stop doing that.
Listen, I mean,
like you know, because it's like this card has already happened, right? That's the 10.
Right.
So why keep going to the 5?
Right.
Halfway there, and like keep going over and over, going off about stuff and being competitive about things that are over.
Right.
And you learn these lessons of the heart, and yeah, you might be still learning lessons of the heart with that card being there, but it's just saying like, look at it, because it's almost like you have moved from a certain kind of conflict.
Yeah.
You have moved from a certain kind of conflict. Some of you to go back to it.
You're having like anxieties over.
Some of you got a job or something and it didn't work out, and now you're back at a place again. Or like that could have even happened in a year kind of sense. You know, like you got something that was, you were going through something and you got something, and now you're going through something again.
Right. Definitely rebuilding.
It's like, but it's like all still progressive. It doesn't feel like it, but it is progressive because you're learning these lessons and you're learning what you're good at and what you can tolerate and what you can't, and like all of that type of stuff, right? You know, so it is karmic lessons about the heart, right? In the competition, like these people could be building something together, making something beautiful, or they could be trying to hit each other with it, really snidely, not trusting each other. It could be really cutthroat.
It really is about it really is about like the sportsmanship of life, right? Because we talk about sports, and that's why we play sports when we're kids, and they teach us how to be good sports and how to, you know, experience loss. You know, not in a heavy way, but experience loss and to be fine with that, yeah? And I feel like that's something you're realizing, that there was a competitive nature to your situation, and you're realizing that that's what actually got the best of you, but it got the best of you because it wasn't really meant for you to be there, you know what I mean? Do you want to be in a scenario where people are trying to drag you down? Why do you want to stay there? You know, and if you're still there, you know you want to get out. You know, it's like, don't let people tell you who you are because of who they want you to be.
Yeah, there's a new beginning. We're getting close to the end for you guys, for Virgo, and then we're gonna go into Libra. But there is a new beginning. And it's a natural progression that's going on with you. There's a lot of fire here with you. There's a lot of spirit. You're feeling very spiritedly. Either somebody like hurt you and made you go through this whole process, or something happened in an establishment. You got burned, set on fire. and now you're coming out golden. This is kind of like that kind of situation.
If any of y'all are 28 around there, you're probably having your Saturn return, 28, 29.
This is Sun in Aries here, and you got your Sun card is Mars in Aries. So there's a lot of like, and look, those two cards together make the Five of Wands,
Right.
which is your anxieties.
Right.
So you're seeing a lot of like connections here with your spirit and how you feel about yourself and what it is that getting what it is that you want.
Right.
You're kind of hoping a certain type of pleasure will come back to you, either a lover that you really miss, maybe they're coming back now because you're getting back into school for some of you in school, or getting back into your system of jobs because you were on vacations. So some of you some of you it's about yourself, and it's like a feeling of self, maybe after the ruin of a relationship or a dream with a job especially, or a goal of some sort. And it didn't work out the way that you wanted to, but you're also getting back to a place where you're like, I'm still me, I'm me, I'm still capable of doing, I can heal from this situation and get what I want. Like they didn't get me. You know, the Ace of Pentacles just flew out and fell on the ground.
Libra's trying to get in.
You know,
Right.
So yeah, I do see, you know, you kind of getting back to a spirited self where like things are gonna like become, there are more possibilities, right? You look at this card and you see more possibility.
Yeah.
Right? He's bigger than the land. He's wearing red, which is the passion and the love. There's a lot of red. Wearing red. Wearing red. Wearing red. Even the guy on the ground here that's dead had some red. Okay? Right? So there's a lot of you feeling really passionate. You being very spirited, very sure. Maybe there's like, you are trying to express some type of love. And you could be being held back somehow. It could be self-love or it could be love for another. But it is like, let it happen. Because that card is definitely talking about a new beginning of self and the possibility of things getting better in your spirit. Okay? All right, Virgo.
All right, Virgo. So I've shuffled the cards and I cut them. We're going to go into Libra next. What time is it? 22. Okay, at 22 minutes. That's pretty round for time stamping. This will be easier to timestamp because...
You're welcome, guys.
All right, y'all.
Yeah, get another personal reading with us. You already know.
Right.
This is that time.
It's that time,
You know,
Virgo
get your
season,
systems
yeah.
together. Okay?
All right, so underneath the deck, you guys, Libra has the Wheel of Fortune, which is Jupiter, yes. It's talking about expansion, and I feel like it's also talking about contraction, too, because it's like opening and closing, getting bigger and getting smaller. It's like the cycle just continues to keep going, and it's almost like being forged, right? You know how they forge metal? So that it can become stronger. You know, you have to take it through the weak points. You have to make it weak almost. So that once you are done with it, then you know that it's reached its level of strength and brittleness where it's not going to break, but it's actually going to maintain its strength. That's why it's always very difficult to be a silversmith or somebody who works in metal. That job is hard. Okay, so... at the top of the reading, Libra has the Ace of Pentacles. So this is beginning stages of the materialization of something. And it has to do with prosperity because there's a rose and there's a lily there. So it really is talking about the enrichment of something and just the general purification of a process being new for you guys. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, you've got the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom. Some of you, this whole month is about your relationship. It's about what's beneficial for you, and it's about your relationship. I mean, you are Libra, so ideally that it's always going to come down to it for you. But, yeah, I do see what is beneficial for you in your relationship, what's beneficial as far as the masculine kind of prototype, either you being the male or the male in your life, with Jupiter being there. I also do see changes coming in, either initiated on your part or just initiated in general from another party. With the Justice card being there, that's your card. And it isn't an immediate influence, so we don't really know if it's kind of like, you know, upright or not. But it's basically all of the polarities and all of the relating that goes on right now. So Libra's really in a strong period of relating.
Yes. Wow, Ashley. She's putting in her 2-week notice at her job. Now, listen, y'all. It's funny that you were saying that because I'm thinking that too. I've been going through a lot of processes and I just feel like there's a lot going on. Jupiter will definitely bring you a lot to put on your plate. And we were talking about this before we came in to do the readings today. And you know, I have a lot of Sagittarius, and sometimes you'll take on things and you'll be able to have all of those things exist, but then it's like it's not without going crazy trying to do them all. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Jupiter definitely does do a lot. Yeah, with the Ace of Pentacles here, I do see something coming in for Libra in a different way. It could be even the same thing, but it appears different, or there is an establishment that that there could be some seed that's sown. It could be some type of proof. It could be a new job. It could be a new apartment. It could be a new dog. It could be a new man. It could be a new thought. Yeah, a new situation possibly.
Definitely getting that, especially like the Ace of Pentacles being there.
And it's physical.
It's physical. There's so much earth at the top of the reading here.
There's a lot of Virgo going on surrounding the situation. I mean, Virgo did have Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of her reading as well.
Yeah.
His reading. Yeah. So it's kind of like interesting. You're conjunct with each other. So right now you're seen as somebody that's kind of maybe not being as social as you normally are. You're getting to a place where you have been. Maybe you were just social this weekend because it was Labor Day, or you did some social things with a family reunion or something like that, and you're kind of realizing that you haven't been. Or when you were at the social event, you weren't as social as you normally are. Something to do with that type of kind of, or like you at the social event, you started relating to people and you started having these epiphanies, right? Because that's also possible with Virgo being there.
It's almost like you guys are starting to...
Oh, you're starting a new job, Ariel? Right. Oh, congratulations.
I feel
Ace
like...
of Pentacles.
Right, I feel like you guys are starting to realize how materialization works, maybe. Or you're feeling and you're experiencing the materialization and you're going with it. You're like allowing it to influence you because you're going inward and you're seeing what it is that it's actually opening up for you in a way. And you're assessing it so that you can actually see the value in what is occurring right now. And you do have 2 9s basically bookending the Ace of Pentacles here. There's almost like a square going on with the top 4 cards in the reading. So it's talking about changes happening in like physical senses, like the job that you have or the location that it's in, the place that you live or the place that you might be moving out of. Are you moving in with somebody that's new? Are you trying to make better use of your time? Are you trying to make better use of your time for new things, for things that already existed, and for the home? I think that you guys are also, right here we're looking at the Queen of Pentacles in the immediate, in the present, and the immediate influence is the Justice card. So maybe you guys were spending time with friends over the Labor Day weekend. You know, there were some surprises that may have occurred. You experienced just being social on a different level, you know. And with Jupiter being at the bottom of the reading, it's causing you to have these new impulses inside of you to sort of like keep the energy going. You know, you guys have really been going through a lot lately, but now that Saturn is about to go direct in Capricorn, your first house or your 4th house of home and family, if we're talking about Libra being the first house, then you are probably going to be getting into a better living situation.
Yeah, I'm seeing there's been a lot of change going on with Libra for a pretty like a long period of time. It could have been like inner change and outer change, right? There are a lot of situations. There could have been a time when maybe you had to take a large risk, or you felt like you were being you were being foolish. You may have been being foolish, or you might have just felt like you were being foolish, and that could have been in a short period of time or a long period of time. You could have been in a situation that was foolish, or a situation that was in relationship to spirit somehow.
Right.
And spirit is a larger sense that's controlling it, so you're kind of, there's like a blind spot there. It's you and your things, and you're in a situation, but you don't know if you're going to go up, down, or fall, or fly in the situation. It's kind of like, you're not blindfolded in the situation, but there are initiations that are happening from out of your control.
Definitely,
that's very
some
like
things I know.
New beginnings that have happened already. And so now you're kind of expressing yourself in a physical way. This month is very physical. There's a lot of Virgo going on, so this month may be very active for a lot of you, like you are getting new things that have come in.
Right.
New processes, new systems. Time might mean something different to you, maybe in your routine somehow, or a relationship might require different demands, or you may require different demands now.
Oh, sorry.
They're in your emotions. You do have Venus and Virgo there, so it's kind of like some aloneness. Some of you may be getting back to a place where, or you've just recently become single, or you're just feeling like this is very dutiful. You're feeling like, oh, I need to spend this time. I need to spend some time with myself because I need to pamper myself. I need to do some physical things to beautify myself because I'm coming out of a situation where I'm realizing maybe I gave too much to something.
Right.
Or there was
you put too much faith in something.
Or there was a harassment that went on with a male even. You could have been dealing with someone who was very harassment. There was like harassment at work, or there was harassment in a situation where someone was just being, maybe they were a cheater.
Are you guys scared that somebody might show up again or come back around? You know, you're like anticipating, like, oh, I don't want to see him. I don't want to see her. I don't want to talk to them. I hope my boss isn't going to be there on the day that I work, that they're normally not there.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Some of you are still in this process with this relationship. Some of you want to leave a relationship. Some of you want to leave. You want to put aggression into going.
Right.
You want to put aggression into leaving. And that might not be like necessarily leaving the connection altogether, but it may mean gaining more independence somehow. Yeah. And there are anxieties and intimidations over it. Maybe this person intimidates you and says that you can't do it somehow to gain control, you know.
This card makes me think, why am I here doing this still?
Yeah, this card is saying you like, and this is Mars, like this is in the Mars section, even though this is Saturn and Pisces. So you could be somehow wanting to restrict, like wanting to create a ring around something with a soulmate, with a person, like you want to keep this in somehow. And it's saying don't keep it in, don't keep it boxed in, or it's saying, excuse me, you are boxed in somehow, and you really want to break out of this situation, and you're weighing out what's fair, and you're saying like, this isn't fair. My duties might be too many duties. I need to it needs to be me against the husband, or me against this male somehow, or my father, or my boss. Even because Virgo, even here 1 in 10, Jupiter being there, the Magician and Jupiter, it's like you standing in something and what you're capable of, and seeing also what you're worth, and possibly getting what's beneficial, because Jupiter is what's beneficial for you. Right. So it's like, you're talking about daddy, yes.
Somebody.
It's like what's beneficial for you.
Somebody used to just be way too much, you know what I mean? It's like the aggression and the ego, and just the inability to see other people's situations, you know what I mean? Because this person has a point of view that no one else has, because they're up on that horse, you know? And this is energy that is like just gonna be a little bit vigilant, right? And so you definitely needed to distance yourself from that energy, because it's like, why would you keep pouring emotion into something that actually isn't there to receive it? You know what I mean? It's like you could be pouring that into something that has to do with you.
Yeah, this is very fiery.
Yeah, it could be a volatile
If you love something,
energy.
set it free. If it returns to you, yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
Because look, this is a very, in certain other placements, this could be very positive.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, oh, it came in suddenly,
Right.
maybe a crush,
Right.
or a flirtation, or oh, I got that job really fast,
Right.
or oh, I won something and I felt really passionate about it, 0 to 60.
Mm-hmm.
I was really scared to take that trip and I did it and it worked
Right.
out. But this is like in your anxieties.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a night. And that's already intimidating because it's a night.
Right.
And then you have it in your anxiety. So it's like, really, there's a male that is intimidating somehow, maybe controlling somehow. He can do it. He can affect you in this way. The burn. Think of the
Right.
feeling of burn.
He's trying
Burn.
to come back. It's trying to come back.
It's a wand.
They're trying to come back. Right.
Right? So it's like, and it's a very fiery card, like gallantly doing it. So it's very brute. They're rushing in, and there's a lot of anxiety around whatever that is, like the actions, not just the communication.
This person was getting in the way of you having that emotional fulfillment due to what you were able to create for yourself. You know what I mean? It's sort of like allowing yourself to see the beauty in your process, right? Your process that isn't influenced by this energy, yeah? Because your personal, individual, interpersonal process can definitely be infiltrated by someone else's energy if, you know, you are receptive to it. And meaning if you're sort of like, if your energy is more receptive, right? People are going to notice that. They may not be verbalizing that they're acknowledging it and they're going to use it to your disadvantage, but they will. Like, they'll take advantage of the love that you might have been trying to put into a situation for what it's worth, right? Because people are like, oh, well, you know, he loves me, so I could go and do this, and they, you know, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. They'll accept.
No, we're best friends. We're not a couple.
It's so funny.
But we are
always
karmically
talk about-
tied, definitely.
We always talk
We
about
do
that.
look good together.
So, well, when you guys see our pictures, who knows what y'all gonna think. But, yeah, you know, you had to walk away from this energy, and it's almost like your advice is meeting that experience with a more mature fire energy, too.
There's a lot of, like, for some of you, you feel foolish about a situation with a lover from the past. You had to let it go off on your own. Now you're dealing with the queenly duties of just expressing yourself and what the proof is that you deserve in a situation. For some of you, you're dealing with a situation with a water sign, maybe, or yeah, like a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and you want to put aggression into leaving the situation, and you're not going to leave the situation, and that might be beneficial. And for others of you, you're going to leave the situation and you're going to manifest something because you're going to have a change of focus.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be, like, once you leave the situation, something else is going to be presented to you. But some of you are going to stay in the situation. I do see some of you, because some of you, if it's a fire sign, even though you feel like the fire sign is giving you anxieties and you don't like the way that they do things, the advice is to stay with the fire sign, because he might actually be able to produce
like
this
the
craftsmanship
development that's
or the
bad.
action. Yeah, he might be able to somehow get the manifestation of the feeling that you're trying to find, because it is a feeling I'm getting. Even though you're focusing on physical,
right?
The future is about the feeling of, like, what I can do, and then therefore the change of focus to get what it is that I want.
Jupiter is bringing surprises, right? And the aces are almost like surprises as well. And you experience epiphanies when you're dealing with Hermit energy, which aren't surprises, but they're pleasant, sort of like discoveries that might happen for you. So this could be someone that you don't even see coming around the corner because your back is turned and they're there watching, or they are there, meaning one or more than one person, and that's going to bring about a complete change of focus,
right?
Which is good because it's crowned by the Ten of Cups, but this is you putting aggression into your own emotional security.
This is for a lot of you. So it's hard. This is hard because this reading can go kind of a lot of ways.
Right.
I do see all this month is about, like, relationships and about, like, love and logic
and
here.
we're going to Libra season.
Yeah,
so
like,
why would not?
how much of my time and energy to this relationship and to these relatings. But I do see for some of you are leaving an immature male for a male that's around the corner that's going to be the king that you were like really hoping for in a situation. And then for some of you, maybe that male is just going to actually mature from you leaving. That could be a story for some of you. I do see like the scale is like you're definitely thinking about what's balanced, what's imbalanced. There's been a period recently in your present that is very Virgo related, and it is either you're feeling really critiqued by your partner or you're being really critical of your partner, or either way, like you're analyzing something after it happened. There was something that made you feel foolish either inside or that actually you feel foolish now, like it just happened. And so you're thinking about it. You've been on your own thinking about it because you know there's a little bit more of a waiting period before this new beginning that you're having. The ace is here, the nine's here.
You're like on the precipice of it, you know? And it's kind of like you were hoping to have something occur where you felt like you were being regenerated in a sense. You know, it's like the genesis of something.
And it has to do with the physical, but it doesn't actually. You think it does because your focus is on the physical and progression, but you're going to realize that it is actually a feeling. It's a feeling that's going to be manifested of accomplishment somehow, and that's going to change your focus.
The great thing about it is that, you know, in walking away from this thing, you know, that you needed to get away from, you had to focus on yourself, which is the physical embodiment of, like, your institution, which is you, you know? And then we're talking about just not even really noticing what's going on beneath the surface or behind the scenes, you know, God behind the scenes. It's just going to bring a little bit more clarity in terms of who you are now and what you're meant to build upon, being this new person that you are. It's always been you, but it's kind of like you in a better way because you've gone through this experience of Saturn teaching you something, you know?
Yeah, for some of you, if there is a fire sign male that you are intimidated by somehow or having anxieties over, definitely hang in there with that fire sign male. Or if there are like two men and there's an older male and a younger male somehow, you're trying to decide between them. The older male is definitely the person. You need to change your focus with that. Or it's like, if you're not being able to focus on some form of love, maybe it's just kind of like you're seeing a lot of people, you're being very flirty, you're being very, like, weighing things out, relating with different people. There's someone that you have your mind kind of fixed on a little bit more, and it's like, go with that person, that fixed passion that is constant. The constant kind of dependable love is the one that you really want, right? That's going to give you the soulmate kind of connection.
Be fair to yourself, you know what I mean? That's what's really important here. Like, that's what really, really matters.
You're growing, you're progressing. The Virgo is here, so it's like you're learning a lot of lessons about, like, the physical routine and what you need on a day-to-day basis. Like, I need you to text me or call me. Like, some people need to talk to their mate every day.
Yeah.
And some people, in whatever form, like sometimes a text message is enough. You know, people do long distance and people have all kinds of jobs and, you know, they require them to travel. And, you know, some people need to FaceTime. They need to actually see you. I need you to see me or da-da-da-da-da. Some people need to hear your voice. You know, oh, he texted me yesterday, and I know he's going to come over tomorrow, so I'm good because he knows I'm at work on Friday, and I'm good. Like, we know each other's routine. Or some people are like, I did not hear from you yesterday at all, and you better believe I'm about to have an attitude. So it's like, you know, kind of figuring out all these things. This is very Virgo,
it's
too.
Like realizing that you didn't...
Every little critical detail.
You didn't need something that you thought you did. And that's bringing a change of focus because you're able to appreciate what you're able to bring into your own life.
There's an immediate evolution that's happening because you're having the epiphany now, inside and out with your sun and the moon.
Season, right? It's like the sun's in your 12th house right now, so definitely.
You're like, if you have a pet or something like that, it's like you and your pet, you and your kids, and you're having these epiphanies. You've been having them, listening to the music by yourself. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, I do feel this. And you know, all of a sudden you're just having these moments and it's literally happening. You're relating a lot. So you're relating to music, you're relating to the news, you're relating to what your dreams are, your hopes are, you're getting into these systems because it's all leading towards this a manifestation. And it is a really beautiful one because it is karmically related. For most of you, it's a really good feeling of accomplishment from something that you've done. For some of you, it is going to be more of a frustrating kind of like, oh, I'm full of these 10 cups now, and I know what I know emotionally. But that's going to be good too, because it's going to have a change of focus.
Yeah.
With the ace being here all around, it's positive. Positive, positive, positive for Libra. At the end of what looks like the Virgo season going into Libra season, you are going to have a change of focus mentally, which means if you've been having some anxieties over feeling foolish in some way or another, or something that happened out of your control because the Fool is there, right, with an establishment or with a lover or something like that, some form of love and relating, you're going to be freed of this kind of experience in a sense. There might be new struggles or new focuses, but it won't be the same ones, right?
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome, darling. It's like God is like, I got you. You thought that you were not going to be okay, but you are.
Yeah, like, yeah, I think that, you know, what it is, though, with Justice card being there, you guys do have a lot of change going on. So it'll be very interesting to see how this next Virgo season plays out for you guys.
All right.
Today's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. All right,
Happy birthday.
Libra. Thank you, guys. We're going to move on to Scorpio.
We're moving on to Scorpio now, okay? Now this last part of the video is Scorpio time. Scorpio, Jupiter has been in your sign for almost a year. It's in every sign for about 13 months or so. So it'll be there till November. I think it went into your sign at the beginning of October of last year, end of September. Sorry you see me wiping my nose. There's AC blowing here.
I'm sniffling.
So it's like we're kind of like a little bit sniffling, but the sun is here and I'm cool at the same time. So it's like compromises. Okay. So Scorpio, these are the messages for you.
Hey, hungry.
Okay. The first card out, and what we're doing an ascendant spread, which is like a pyramid of focus, right? Is the moon. It's a Pisces card.
Yes.
So this is a very positive card for you in the sense that this is talking about a progression in your emotions. You are Scorpio, so the moon is a very deep card because this card could be talking about a struggle that you're going through kind of at home or with your family. So if you think about that, or at work even, anything that's emotional where you feel like you're wondering how you're going to get through this, even in your body, like a long upheaval kind of thing.
Sleep, probably.
It could have been something you've been dealing with literally your entire life secretly. Or it could be like something that you've just been dealing with for the past month.
Right.
Secretly. But it is kind of like something that you're dealing with at night that has to do with a struggle. Like it could be quieted. By at night, I mean like it's not on the surface. It's not action
alone. It's almost like you feel like you're going through something alone, and you're seeking this sort of like recognition of your feelings by some other entity other than yourself, right? It's like you need, because the moon needs to be felt.
It's receptive energy.
Right.
So it's like you're reacting to certain establishments. You see the two trees that were there? Certain establishments that are already there. Because think about Capricorn is opposite Cancer, and it opposes Cancer energy in general. This is Pisces, and right now, this is Pisces because this is Pisces rules the moon card. And right now the sun is in Virgo.
Right.
So this is already in opposition in a sense to maybe the details. There's something to do with like not wanting to do some of the details maybe. You're looking at all of the emotional stuff. And if you could, you just walk away from certain things or just not look at certain things. Like little detail-y things, fickle things that are
that don't matter
past you, or it just gets on your nerves somehow. But it is part of a major journey emotionally that you're having. And you've been having maybe your entire life. It could have to do with control. It could have to do with another person emotionally and their sympathy and your sympathies. Maybe you empathize with this person or sympathize with this person in some way.
I feel like some of
cross-watching Virgo for Scorpio.
I feel like some of you are trying to make sense of your emotions. It's almost like you're recognizing that they're there, but you're trying to figure out like what it means to you. you know, because sometimes you may not know what something means to you because you're not able to find the meaning behind a lot of things. But then a lot of the times you find the most meaning behind things. And that's the craziness of Scorpio, you know what I mean? It's like you can be very intense in a good way, and then you can be very intense in a bad way. Most signs can be, but you are intensity, right? So it's like intense emotional processes that you're going through at night. You might be going through some things alone. You might even be daydreaming, you know, during the day about things being better. It's like you want to get to a better place of how you feel about things. You know, it's all about the harmonization of stuff.
There is this is a very powerful reading, Scorpio. It's no surprise you're Scorpio. This is strong. This is very strong. The moon is here. So there is an emotional struggle that you're facing. And it could be somebody else that is making you feel this way, or it's just the mountain of the work there. You do have Jupiter and Capricorn, which is the Two of Pentacles, which is a beautiful card that is in your immediate influence. So maybe there was a new beginning that happened somehow physically. But there's work to it, right? There's work to this new beginning that's going on.
Understanding how to make do.
And there is a balance in it. It's your needs versus the needs of this entity or system or idea, noun, because it's something everybody knows, like, right? So it's like your job or your relationship or your child or whatever, and your needs and their needs and the work and the mountain of this, but it's beneficial because it's Jupiter. So it's like you want to do it, you know, it's like kind of wanting to do it, definitely. But there's like a teeter-totter with it. There's temperance with it. It affects your emotions in this way and in that way. And, you know, and you're trying to be more crafty with it. And there's no real rule book to the emotional journey because it could have to do with your body, too, and your diet. Or it could have to do with, like, your family, some type of emotional tie, your relationship, especially your husband, because the Lover's card is the past here, or your lover, and some type of emotional thing that you guys did together.
I feel like you guys are starting to really consider what people mean to you in your life. And it's not really just like family members. It's talking about like people that you experience on a day-to-day.
She's practicing abstinence and she's with the Taurus. She's a Scorpio.
Like I understand that might be hard for you guys.
Whoa, opposites attract.
Definitely,
Look,
yeah.
That's the tense.
You're definitely dealing with that. It's like how we
Capricorn.
It's like how do you find
that's the devil card.
How do you find harmony in a relationship that is actually focused on
I see Scorpio.
not sexually physical activity, right? It's like what can you begin to nurture in the relationship once you take sex out of it? Start thinking about that because those are the things that are actually going to get you guys a little bit more sewn in together because sex is something that some people reach out to other people for because it doesn't mean anything, apparently. So it's like, all right, so take that out. What actually does mean something?
Well, and the thing is, well, you're Scorpio, so it always means something to you. Right? And that's the powerful part about it because for some of you, you were dealing with somebody that maybe it didn't mean anything to, because this is very Gemini, right? The Lover's card here. It could even be like physically, it could have been a very physical kind of thing that was great. You could have been dealing with an air sign, and there was some type of like great chemistry, but there wasn't enough deep emotion. You are a deeply emotional person, and so you could have analyzed it. It could have been any, with the Lover's card there, it's a major arcana, so it could have been any sign. Really, like Scorpio, you could have been with anybody, okay?
This is
and
like,
that person wasn't able to get to that depth. The physical was beneficial.
Failure to comply,
right? But they weren't able to like,
because you could be demanding.
You're so alluring and glamorous in these ways that are like non-verbal, and you could have been dealing with somebody that needs more verbal communication, and that can be challenging as well for you because you like to control things and you get frustrated when you can't control it. It's even in your face. You get tense or you lash out and you say hurtful things in order to control the situation, and that's not good either.
Right, because being in a relationship is not so that you can control the other person.
Right, because then it becomes this idea of possession right? And Capricorn, it is a progression from Scorpio, right? Jupiter in Capricorn here also is saying like maybe there's a struggle with a male in your life right now, but that's the male, or it could be a beneficial male, like holding on there, or it could be like you wanting your cake and eating it too,
Right.
with a certain situation and a transformation that's about to go on underway. But I do see like you've recently been spending a lot of time with your lover. Maybe you guys were taking trips, or you went through some type of situation together. Some of you might have gone through.
I'll be right back, guys.
Some of you might have gone through a very deep kind of situation with your lover, or with someone that is very deep to you, like a family member or a water sign, or someone maybe there was something deep that happened. There could have even been a loss that was major that affected both of you and brought you closer together, or there were some type of lessons about maturity somehow, you know, as far as love and lessons of passion. The Death card is in the future, which is, you know, that's your card. So here, it's very likely that it's not talking about a literal death, it's talking about endings in a major way. Endings to an emotional struggle. You do have some type of emotional struggle that you're in, and you know it. I have Mars in Scorpio, and I have Saturn in Scorpio. And my father is a Scorpio born on Halloween. So I know you, Scorpio. I have a Cancer moon. I have Peleus and Lilith in Pisces. I have a water trine. I could be here all day deep in the ocean with you, okay, boo? So however deep you want to go, okay? But there is a transformation that's going on here with you. And it could have to do with love. There could be something that is literally forcing you, Mars and Libra, okay? There's something that's literally forcing a transformation inside of you. Maybe you want it to be a little bit immature, or somebody was being a little bit immature in a spirited way or a sexual way. And there are lessons to be learned about restrictions in sex, restrictions in spirit, and restrictions in your temperament. I just want to be hot-headed and go off and be mad and get what I want. And you might not be able to just do that in the situation because it might not be beneficial for you financially or beneficial for your pleasure somehow. So in the future, with the transformation card being here, it's like something is going to end, and how are you going to deal with that transformation? Because we all have to die. We know that we know that we're going to die. And if you spend your whole time thinking about death, then you'll never really live, right? So it's almost like you kind of have to, it could be even saying be light in the passions, right? Be flirtatious more, be less serious, even though you're going through this emotional struggle, yes? Some of you are worried about someone not being able to see your perspective somehow even. You do have the Six of Wands, which is Jupiter in Leo, in your sun. And I also see a Leo card in your Mars. It's Mars in Leo, which is the Seven of Wands. So I am seeing like a new beginning, and it might be in relationship to a Leo literally, or it could be the symbols around Leo, and Leo rules the heart. So whatever the matter is, it is deep to you, because the Lovers is the past here, so it's an initiation of deep feelings that has happened, and you know what I'm talking about because it's the past. The Lovers card. So you've already felt it, the deep thing, and you're existing in it. And it's a new beginning, and it's affecting your new routine somehow. Scorpios are spicy. Yes, you guys are very spicy. But it's also a very alluring kind of thing. It's not like heat, like a Leo from the outside. It's something that is alluring and mysterious. So it's like a double take, triple take kind of. I could have easily possibly not noticed, but I do notice, and I'm now falling into it, right? It's like seeing something sparkling in the water. Right? Is it a quarter down there, or is it a pearl? What's the value of this thing that's kind of mysterious to me? Very Scorpio in a way. And it's almost driving you to get into the water. And that's the control of Scorpio. It's controlling you. It's making you get down in there and do it. You don't know why you want to do it. You've taken your clothes off, you've gotten in the water, and now you're going to benefit once you get down there because you're going to know what's in there. hopefully it's something good. It's up to the Scorpio. That's the mystery of Scorpio.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in your anxieties, I was telling them about an ending, right?
Okay, they always have endings.
I know Scorpio very well. We had a deep, like, one-on-one Scorpio moment. Now we're back. Okay.
Pluto in the first house, y'all.
Okay. Pluto, he knows, right? Pluto in the first, he can dive in. He can hang, right? He has Pluto in the first. So that's your ruling planet in his ego and in his body and mind. Right, very dense. And you can even see it in his aesthetic, right? Pluto is kind of a small, dense, powerful thing, and that's exactly what he is. A very small, dense, powerful person. He's a dancer, he's a fitness instructor, he went to Juilliard, he did all these things. Very small, petite guy, intense. Pluto in the first house. Anyway, that's aside. Okay, so your anxieties are Four of Pentacles. Right? Four of Pentacles energy is saying, that's Sun in Capricorn, right? So you're like, you might be having anxieties over the work once again.
Consuming, trying to control.
It's a lot of, like, don't be greedy with whatever it is, your emotions. And like, yes, you have your obstacles, but so do everybody else. And yes, you went through this traumatic thing that made you feel some deep feeling emotions, and you're going through an even bigger transformation inside of yourself, but that doesn't warrant selfish or greedy or like conniving in any kind of way.
Absolutely.
You know, because there is an emotional shock. Because this is like, it's like I'm gonna try to, like, I see this obstacle, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try to hold on to what I need to hold on to. There's a lot of busyness going on.
There's a trine going on here with the moon and your anxieties and the sun. So you got the moon here, you got the sun in Capricorn, and then you got the sun over here. So it's really saying that you are literally trying to continue to control people that are out of your control now. You know, it's like if you were able to control people at one point, then they probably will realize that they're being controlled. And then you're not going to continue to control them. And then you're going to feel some kind of way about not having that use of them anymore. You know, it's like they are no longer that resource that you relied on for certain reasons, right? And for you, it doesn't mean that they've changed. It just means that the situation has changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because you're thinking about what's beneficial. You do see some mountains. There are some obstacles with you and your finances. I do see that here a little bit. Or it just has to do
shared resources.
Yeah, or it's like, it's not like, oh, you're destitute or anything, but I do see, like, you just see some obstacles here somehow with, like, maybe your time versus your energy versus, like, what's beneficial for you. Was self-beneficial for you.
Right. You're not at a loss either way.
No, you're actually, I mean, it's been a spirited struggle, maybe, and you're at an advantage with it, and you are gaining things of the heart that you may have always wanted, right? Like your entire life. But it is a slow struggle. And there's still a lot of need to express with the Empress being here. Yeah, some of you still, there are still more growth inside of yourself that's going to go on. Yeah, there's a lot of transformation that's happening.
And it's gonna take warmth on your part, you know what I mean? Because it's like you want to be like, but it should be this, and I feel like it needs to be that, and this is what's happening, really, you know what I mean? It's like that type of thing.
Some of you have been really hard on yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
This is Venus in Aquarius.
Yes.
So that means, and it's in your moon, and the moon the moon placement could really just reflect how you feel in general. It doesn't have to be an anxiety, but this is an anxiety card and a card of conflict, and it is in your moon. So you are being slanderous to yourself or being slanderous in a situation. Maybe even taking the beauty out of something that could be more beautiful or more enjoyable somehow.
You're not seeing how a change could affect everyone in a positive way, right? You're having the inability to embrace the idea that something would be better for everyone. It's like you're not allowing yourself to do it because you're trying to you're trying to hold on to the old ways of doing things, and you're breaking your back trying to fight something that doesn't want to be fought and will not be fought, really.
You're making some type of excuse about your heritage or the way that you
It's
learn
always
something.
right.
Because Sun in Capricorn is like my fist is almost closed, like it's better off to have the open hand so things can flow. And you're very much not that way with things, and you're having anxieties over how much you should let in, how much you should take out, and also your heritage, like your father or where you come from, and the ties to Susie Q's mom's sisters, da 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 da. We do these things on Tuesday. Family traditions, legacies, family body things like heritage things, or if someone's diabetic, or if someone's schizophrenic or bipolar, or their mom was and you're wondering if you are, and it could be anything to have to do with that.
It's like the person that has it all knows. And it's like you don't have to have everything to feel like you have it all. You know, you have everything that you need, so there's no real immediate feeling of needing to have more. It's like really just the hunger and the desire nature that is naturally inside of you guys, that, you know, you're always curious to find out what more there is, you know. But at the same time, it's like you should definitely feel content in knowing that you do have everything that you need, you know.
It's kind of crazy because this is like really a painful, transformative energy that you've had to deal
It's like
with
it's forcing
for
you to
however long,
understand,
maybe
yeah.
even this whole year of Jupiter being there.
Get
Because
it,
it's been
get
a
it.
slow struggle, slow mountain, but I do
Right.
see a very positive end for you, Scorpio.
Mhm.
With the sun being there as like the outcome card. Beautiful, look at the sun.
It's really good, yeah.
And then you have the moon here as a future card as well. So that's feeling good inside and out, right? Your actions actually shining as something positive
Right.
after a transformation.
The work,
There's an
right.
emotional struggle. You might not like all of that.
Mhm. After the work that it's gonna take determination and passion.
But
to
I do
actually
see, like,
see
yeah,
it
I
through.
see Leo there a lot.
Right.
I see a male there that could be your husband. Or like it could be like a Scorpio, Aries, Leo kind of energy, maybe Taurus, possibly if you feel
wow.
passionately about that person with Jupiter and
Yeah.
Capricorn being there.
You might feel like you're not ready for the challenge, but you just have to go ahead and embrace it, you know? Because this is the daughter of Wands. She definitely is right?
Yeah, you can't have your cake and eat it too, some of you too.
Mhm.
With the lovers and the sun and Capricorn, because you know Capricorn can be greedy about things physically. You can't have emotional ties to one person and physical ties to another person, and you know that as well. You can't hold on to your ex
Right.
and da-da-da-da-da and still want to have this situation
Right.
as well.
Or old ways of existing.
Old
or
ways of thinking.
Old thought processes.
All of that.
Yeah.
Some of you, I mean, like a lot of you have really just gone through transformations. Literally, some people have literally died. And then for other people, have you just broken off from situations?
Mhm.
It's been a mountain.
Right.
It's been a lot of work, emotional work, actually.
This is good here.
Even in your body, some struggle in your body.
I like the advice.
Things are getting better.
I like the advice being the Empress, which is saying this waiting period is going to afford you something a little bit sweeter that you don't really know. You don't know what this fruit is going to be yet, but whatever it is actually going to make you very aware that it was all worth it, right? All right, Scorpio, we're going to let you guys go. If you want to get a private reading, which you all should, email us at providencetarot@gmail.com. Yes. Dale is at Blue is True with 2 T's on Instagram, and I'm at NYC Kendrick. And then through that, you'll be able to find us in other ways on Instagram.
Providence
too.
Tarot. That's the overall IG. Blue is
Uh-huh.
true. Yes, 2 T's. Blue is like the bluest color.
Yes.
NYC Kendrick. Okay. We are at Shanti, Shanti on 14th Street. That's in between 3rd and 2nd Avenue. I'm there on Fridays from 11:30 to 5. You can come in and have a reading with me. We do 15-minute increments there. You can book time, call ahead, whatever you need, and I'll be more than happy to have you. And then we can go through the shop and you can look at some crystals and recommend some things for you.
I'm there on Sunday mornings and afternoon. The time kind of fluctuates, but if you come between like 11:30 and 3:34, I'll probably be there giving readings. Yeah,
email us at providencetarot@gmail.com if you're an out-of-towner and you want to connect with us in that way. We do duo readings at a certain price point, and we do individual readings as well. We do all kinds of stuff, Skype, Facebook Messenger, FaceTime. All that type of stuff.
We are in New York, New York.
YouTube links as well.
Yeah. All right, you guys.
All right.
Bye.
That was fun. We've never done anything like this with the 3 signs, so we like it.
You were guinea pigs.
Bye.
Bye.